Alright, hi, it's Camille here. This is my final vlog, kind of just to recap everything that happened in Morocco. I'm back in Ohio now, but still processing everything that happened and kind of thinking about it and what was most significant. So our coordinator for this trip gave us a list of a couple questions to think about for our final vlog. So I'm kind of going to look back at this paper to kind of jog my memory about what I want to talk about. But kind of one of the things we were trying to reflect on was what was the most impactful part of the trip. So for me, everything that we did, a lot of things, it was really difficult to decide what was the most significant thing. But I think in general, just kind of that whole process of being immersed in different culture really made an impact on me. Kind of just being able to see different ways of life, experience hearing new languages every day, waking up, going around in the Medina where people were selling things on the market, on the street. That was something different to see. But I think the aspect of just being able to live with the host families in the Medina and really be immersed in that world really gave a good picture of what Moroccan life is like. And I think the experience would have been totally different. For example, if we had lived in hotels the whole time, or in the city rather than right with the people. So I think that was really significant. Another thing I learned about myself from the trip was just kind of realizing that I was able to be independent. I really stretched myself going on this trip. This was my first big international trip, first time across the pond, so that was kind of risky for me. I was a little nervous at first, but I went. I actually flew there alone and met the group in Morocco, and from there was the only person at my work site. So in a lot of ways I was really independent, but I think that kind of gave me the confidence to know that I can kind of step forward independently and do things on my own, which is a great lesson to learn, especially as a senior. Another thing I kind of realized is just I really enjoy just being in new cultures and traveling. Again, this is my first time, a big trip like this, so it was great to see that I didn't experience the typical homesickness or fears, worries. I really enjoyed my experience, so I'm looking forward to hopefully doing more travel in the future. So another question we were asked was what was our favorite part of Moroccan culture, and there's really so many. I loved the food. It was a little more vegetarian, but I felt really healthy that way. That was really good. I loved how lively I felt the streets were. So at least in the Medina, which is the older part of the city, you just walk around, you see people selling things. It's called the souks. So there'll be like leather bags and all kinds of carpets and just lots of really neat things being sold on the street. And so it's always fun to walk by and have the shopkeepers, speak to you and whatnot. Also, I miss kind of the colorfulness. I mean, when we were in Rabat, it was just beautiful. We had the ocean within walking distance. There was also a lot of places, historical sites that have been around for centuries, not to mention the newer areas which had high-rise apartments and fancy restaurants. So there was just a lot of variety, a lot of color, a lot of things to see, and also the people. I made some great friends in Morocco. Everybody was just very friendly, and that was great. So kind of coming to wrap this up, how this experience has changed me has really just given me a first to continue traveling and to continue broadening my horizons and learning more. I was trying to think of a way to make this more educational and kind of bring it back also to my internship. And I think also being in Morocco has just also shown me things I took for granted in the United States and given me a new way of looking at it. So when I was in Morocco, some things I noticed were the different ways, different roles women had in society and their participation. So for example, you'll see less women out on the street late at night just because it's less socially acceptable. Also, women are less involved in some levels of decision making, and that's something that's changing and something the organization I was at was trying to work on. But it's just kind of interesting to see that and witness a society that is changing currently, because Morocco is slowly kind of modernizing and also changing their constitution. Another thing was just interesting just to see how the role religion played in government, and how you know, being in a place where the majority of the population is religious and that's a large part of their lives, versus the United States where you don't see that direct link all the time. So it was really neat to kind of see these things and kind of make them reflect on my own culture, and also just being in a society that's truly really multilingual, very diverse backgrounds, people. Yeah, it's very interesting to see that, knowing that that's probably what the United States might look like in the next few decades or longer to come. So all in all, it was a great experience, and I'm looking forward to making more memories, hopefully traveling in the future, service learning, all that great stuff. So thanks.